Very good. And with with a few adjustments, and we're once again off and running at at the Cosmic Watch, and we'll have our chat room hopefully rejoin us as we restart here. Technical difficulties, a thing which is very much connected with what's going on in the skies. Always, you're either connecting with people or you're not connecting with people, and this is the reason that we have so many different guides to help us along with our path as we come through this life. If you're born on this particular day, then you are Aquarius. Your moon sign is in Libra, and that means balance and harmony in a life where, as an Aquarian, you're going to be pushing the limits all the time, trying to make new boundaries out there, and always trying to find your way. So to be Aquarius and to also have a birth number, today is February the 10th of 2023, and that adds up to a 10. Now, 10 is the first double-digit number. It's the first look into the spirit world. It's the connection. It's reaching that next level. When you're a 9, you're trying to release things that have happened in the past, and then when 10 comes, you're open to whatever comes next. The 10, the 1 plus 0, shows not only intuition in the 0, but also one door closing while the other door opens. That transition of making the jump to hyperspace, being able to slow down enough to actually meditate, to actually hear the answers that your spirit guides are always trying to provide for you. But sometimes we pray so hard that we're not listening to the answers that we get, and because we want one particular answer so much that we're not willing to wait for the answer that our guides are trying to let us have, because your guides are in for the ride. Your spirit guides, most of them, come to you during your life, depending on how emotional you are. Most spirit guides come to be able to experience the emotions, the ups and downs of the life here on Earth. And then this is why they bother to, rather than be reincarnated right now, they take a ride in someone else's lifetime, and while riding along and experiencing your hates and your angers and your loves and your passions, and while being a part of all that, while pushing you in certain directions to as we'll be saying next week on Valentine's Day, find your soulmate. Is that even a possible thing? The whole concept of soulmates is very recent. It comes on with the the publishing of romantic novels, and the whole idea of romantic love is very new. Just in the last few hundred years, that people were not assigned to the person who was going to be their mate for the rest of their life, and really had no say in the matter whatsoever. And so the whole idea of there being a Romeo and Juliet meant for each other and only for each other is is so much harder to fathom now that we have so many souls on the planet, all looking for the ideal mate, and it being so hard to predict what is going to happen next with people in any particular lifetime. So the the whole idea of you finding the perfect mate and living happily ever after, that is what is hard to work out. There are people, souls that you travel with from lifetime to lifetime, and these people excuse me, my guides, on a very important matter there. If as you move from lifetime to lifetime with these people, you can take on different roles. There's a different the purpose of having multiple lives is that you learn from a different perspective. You get to relive those very important situations that are going to arise, and this time, hopefully, you do better. You can improve by moving up level by level through your lives, and that's all that really matters to those in the spirit world, is that you have movement, that you have growth, that you progress in that lifetime. There are those who learn what they're supposed to learn very quickly, and that lifetime is over. And it's very hard for others left behind to understand that perhaps they had more than one karma to attend to. It seems very possible, very probable, that we can have more than one karma to work, and we can be called away from one lifetime to go take care of business in another, and to have different groups of people, perhaps in lifetimes over here, and then living some lifetimes over there, and trying to learn all these different karmic lessons, along with the instant karma that is produced within that particular lifetime. When you're out there trying to figure everything out, and trying to bring your karmas together, even anything is possible. So in this past week, the biggest influence was that full moon that came up, completely full moon on Monday, and it came up in Leo. And a full moon in Leo brings out the brutal honesty in all of us. I didn't mean to say it, but I meant what I said. It was a time of blowing off steam earlier this week, and I certainly felt it myself. this uncontrollable urge to express yourself and, and leave no question as to what you meant. So if if we are to be rejoined by our chat room members tonight, hopefully they'll give us another opportunity. We got on about a half hour late this evening, so we haven't been joined by anyone rejoined in the chat room. We had technical difficulties a little bit earlier with no audio stream, and hopefully we'll have some of our people back, and we'll be talking about what's coming up next week. That's Valentine's Day, and it's a wonderful invention because it's a good idea to send love messages to each other. Sure, it is, but it turned into an advertiser's dream, right? If you happen to make Valentines and sell them, and these are the things that we perpetuate for ourselves, the good feelings that come from our friendly advertisers who are always trying to influence us. Uh, um, what is advertising other than propaganda? It's you can say anything in an ad, and people are supposed to know that. Well, it's not exactly going to bring people back from the grave, but maybe it's an okay product to use. And when when we start overdoing the advertising, such as political advertising, it's it reaches the point of being so vicious that it just implodes upon itself. But it's a way of moving people. If you can spend that much money, when you can actually buy your way into the hearts of the users, the consumers out there, and when you look at products that spend billions of dollars in advertising, you you wonder about how practical that product really is, how useful that product really is, if they have to go to that much trouble to to sell it out there. But any idea can be sold, and the whole idea behind Valentine's Day is the war between men and women, the imaginary war between men and women, and this is perpetuated by all of the media people and everyone who wants to sell products. You know, you'll attract more people to you if you drive this or eat that or drink this. It's endless, and these things are used to motivate people to be in the back of their mind and to associate the color of the Coke can with Santa Claus. Now, that's not much of a stretch. They got it done. They practically invented the whole Christmas and Santa Claus notion that we have today, which is a very a very interesting concept that is um, has no truth to it whatsoever, right? Only in spirit, and this lets you know how important it is what you think, and how very often what you think is influenced by your spirit guides, who will always come to you in the voice that you're going to trust the most. They're always going to come to you in your own voice, in your mind, thinking that you are speaking to yourself. When actually, very often, this is a spirit guide who is paving the way for what they think should be happening in your life next. And they they do this because they care, because they want to see you get out there and and enjoy life. There's there's got to be a point to being here, and I don't think that the point is to compete with each other as to who's closest to God, the way that all the religions do. Why, why not take everyone? Because that's what we've never done. And evolution says you have to try everything. So maybe if we all went together, we could find where heaven really is and what heaven really is, and what the uncreated creator brought us here for, what it's all about. We haven't been able to go one at a time. Let's try the other way. Let's all work together. Let's all stop trying to take from each other. Stop trying to compete with each other and help each other. That's what hasn't been tried in all the thousands of years that people have been upon this earth and writing down what happened. It's never been one world so far. And evolution says you've got to try everything, that you really have to get out there and experiment, because you never know until you've actually tried it for yourself or seen it happen with another human being. And the wonderful thing about the spirit world is how much they want to be a part of your particular lifetime right now. And you have to know that everything that comes into your life, both good and bad, come from the same source. And the reason that they come to you or to anyone is to bring change. The what the world doesn't seem to enjoy is having human beings do nothing. Human beings who do nothing get in the way more than anything else. So we're all in it together. Why not? Why not help each other? You know, why does it take a flood or a tornado or a hurricane to make countries work together, to make states work together, or to make cities work together instead of against each other? It's remarkable what can be done when when any group of people have the same thought, the same purpose. Uh, you can multiply your power by having, and as you know, by having your mate, you greatly multiply everything that you have. And if by being close to one soul can do that for you, think if you were open to everyone. Think if you didn't have to be frightened by everyone, that there weren't people out there who take more than they need. simply because they can. So this is the reason that we make tarot card readings available to everyone, to everybody out there. When I ask if there's a soul right now who's getting good from this, the answer is yes. That there, and maybe this is weeks from now when someone watches the podcast, that someone is able to make that jump from being scared of the world, being frightened of what's going to happen next, to knowing that you're going to be taken care of, to knowing that somebody does care about you, and that it's worth being here. It's worth the living. It's worth all of the downside of having people close to you. All relationships don't work out. That it's as simple as that. You can't expect every relationship to be exactly the way that you would want it to be, that you would plan it out to be. And the thing about this year is that things are changing. Things are moving all the time. There is an entire miniature of the universe within each and every soul who's walking on this planet today. It's everything that you need is within you. Those are the truest words I think ever spoken. If there's nothing that is withheld from you, only by yourself. Only when you refuse to walk down a certain road, when you refuse to change, when you become rigid. And when you come into this world as a newborn, you're as pliable as you can be. And as you get older, you become more and more rigid. And finally, you're dead because you're not moving anymore. So the idea is to keep moving, to keep growing, to keep trying to find out what you're supposed to be doing, what your guides are trying to move you to be a part of. Oh man! So when I ask where I'm at, that's contentment is what the card is, and it's of course it's a 9, so it's release. It's and what that means is don't keep it to yourself. Release it. Let it get on out there around the world. Every good thing that happens to you, everything that puts a smile on your face, everything that gives you contentment. This is why you're in this configuration that you're in right now, with all the different people who come and go from your life. So if you have someone, you need to appreciate them while they're there. And that's a great lesson to learn, is that you're not promised really anything or anybody tomorrow. But there's no sense in worrying about it, because you really can't change other people. And this is a great waste of time for so many people who want to change everybody else instead of changing themselves. So as as we as we live and learn, we become better at being ourselves, better at being able to uh, to always be out there and available for other people. And I guess that's really the hardest lesson of all. Is, see, as hard as it is to help your enemies, it's even harder to accept their help, to accept your enemies as being people rather than demonizing them, to accept that everyone is the same in the eyes of God. Why would anybody be more important to God because they drive a bigger car? They have a bigger camel. It doesn't make sense, the story that we have told ourselves about what heaven is and how you get there. And it's it's a journey, and as all life always is. And I think at this point we've given it another half hour here, and we just don't have anybody in our chat room tonight. I don't think they're going to be able to come back this evening. So I believe that what we're going to do is just call this an evening and learn from it, and hope to see you next time on the Cosmic Watch.